Hey, you guys, it's Anne Marie. Happy Turnip Tuesday. Hey, happy Turnip Tuesday. Hey, get a little drink here. My other message, it was kind of all over the place. But one thing about me, so I recognized with the divine, there is no such thing as perfection. And everything happens as it's supposed to. And so I still post the video. Oh, well. So that'll be a lesson to you. Post your videos. Post your content. You never know who it's going to help. All right, so. Magic. Ooh. Wow. Feel that heat and energy. I know. All right, so, Amber, you are. All right, let's see what our, is it the Norse goddess or I? Sorry, I got stuff everywhere here. All right, let's pull some cards to get some messages of clarity for those of you who like it. I hope everybody's having a magical week. All right. Spirit guides, can I get a clear, concise message? Spirit was like, you're the one who was overthinking the last message, Maria. Cards are still sticking together here. Oh, number 10, solitude, sadness, grief. Is it Nathiads? This is a bat. And he's hanging from the crescent moon. Wow. Be mindful of remaining in solitude too long, where it creates grief and sadness within you. This also may go along with the video that I did about where they tried to isolate you because they thought you would disappear. You may have found comfort in this isolation. If you didn't watch the video, you don't have to watch it, but I did a video. It was pretty powerful about how the ops, whatever you want to call them, however you want to identify it as, that's not the purpose here. The darkness, the evilness, your ops try to put you in isolation, thinking that you would take your own life, thinking that you would disappear, thinking that you would just wither away and die in the ditch that they left you in, not realizing that the dirt that they threw on you was the dirt you needed for the nourishing of your soul. Of the soil of your soul, the seed was planted and grew from the dirt that was thrown on you. And so now you've been in this isolation and you have found comfort and solitude. You realize that you are your best company. You're a pretty amazing person, which you are. Spirit is saying for some of you, though, be very mindful of it teetering on having too much solitude and too much isolation, where you get to a point where then it brings in grief and sadness, and then thoughts of the ops or the negative energy, or however you want to identify it, those negative thoughts that come in thinking that you're always destined to be alone, that you're always, and it's going to create sadness and grief. Solitude is amazing. Isolation is amazing. However, just like with everything, too much of anything can also then become a thorn for us. And so with Spirit is saying that for some of you, you have grown and healed, and you're this beautiful light being, this beautiful soul, and you have so much to offer the world. However, for some of you who've been in this solitude so long, it's now on the verge. There's a line here that you're getting ready to cross. I'm not projecting this, what Spirit is showing me, that there's bringing sadness and grief because you've been in this position so long, maybe at a place that you don't trust anybody at all, and so and you have every right to protect your heart. But if your heart and your soul and your spirit is so protected, how is it open to allow anything good to come in, to add to your life? We were not designed to live our life by ourselves. Now, if that's your path and then you have no problem with it, that's fine. This message isn't for you. This is for those who recognize the power when we come together with others, whether it's connections and friendships or in romantic partners. And so what Spirit has shown me is that there's some of you, like I said, that are on teetering on this, where there's some sadness and grief that comes in because you've had to protect yourself because of what's happened to you. You have had a lot of betrayal. You've had a lot of these people that were supposed to love and care for you did you kind of dirty. Not kind of. Spirit's like, not kinda. Did you really fucking dirty? And so, as I said in the other reading, you use that isolation to heal and grow, and now you're this beautiful, beautiful flower, this beautiful butterfly, this beautiful king, this beautiful god and goddess. And you recognize that. However, because that you've been in this solitude for so long, it's bringing in some grief. It's bringing in some sadness. And that's also, Spirit is saying, also, that's what the ops want for you. They're like, okay, they can be in their power. They can be this great divine being, source of light, but let them think that they're going to be alone and lonely their whole life in their greatness. Let them have grief and sadness for being alone. So it keeps them from, exploring, from going out their comfort zone. So they're fearful of reaching out to people. So they're fearful of taking that step towards another divine instant being, source of light energy, or create anxiety in them, so they start to have these negative thoughts that come in if they try to reach out to someone, or that they're too afraid to try new things. Like I was saying, I feel like I'm repeating myself. And so Spirit's saying, be very mindful of that when those negative thoughts come in, because those also are projections onto you. If someone sees you shining and glowing and all that in solitude and in your isolation, they're like, well, let's make sure no other good connections come into their life, so they think they did the wrong thing. We want them to think that they did the wrong thing by glowing and growing, that it was wrong for them to be in solitude. Let's make them feel guilty and ashamed. Let's make them have grief. Let's have them have sadness. Remember that. Spirit doesn't want you to walk this path alone. And again, I need to say this again. If you're fine with it, and you're at that place where whatever, this message isn't for you. It's, again, for those who understand the power of connection. Because we're all connected. And the more of us that come together of light, the stronger we become. So what is it that you need to surrender to kind of help you move through this? Because I just felt like a heavy sadness, a heavy grief that's coming upon somebody. And we don't want that for you. Your light is too bright. Excuse me. So what do you need to surrender to? Spirit, show us what the beautiful collective needs to surrender to, so they can move away from this sadness and grief. Maybe because of your isolation so much that you have this thought that that you're never going to be able to come out of this cocoon of being by yourself or not experiencing life. I just heard someone say, I've done all this growth and healing for what? There's no one around me. I heard someone say, I just got my animals. Pop up for your spirit team. Surrender to joy. And we got this card the other day. I'm not going to struggle. I'll struggle when I have glasses here. Okay, surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and the easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. And the next card's going to surrender to your full power. Your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. Playing it small is thinking that, well, I've done all this work, I guess. I mean, and we know that this path that we walk, this path alone, we're going through our healing. A lot of us know that this is a path that we have to walk on our own to find out who we are, to find out what our energy is, to learn who we are and our power, and to love ourselves so that we put that out, so that's what we attract. So you have this full power. But I just keep hearing someone say, I got all this power, I got all this strength, and now I'm doing it all by myself. I heard someone say, is the whole path by myself? No, it doesn't have to be.